record. Can we get a keg up there?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Woo!
Excellent. Our kegs are $2,000.
Maybe not.
Well, Brad, it has been a true pleasure talking with you. However, we have invited you here tonight to play a game we're calling General Manager Meet General Washington. You may manage one of the greatest ski resorts in the state of Washington, but how much do you know about our beer-loving namesake, General George Washington? We are going to ask you 3 questions related to George Washington and beer. Answer 2 of the 3 questions successfully, and you'll win a prize for one of our audience members, free beer, a pint glass, and a lift ticket to Mount Spokane. Dave, who is Brad playing for tonight?
I can't really read the handwriting, but I think it says Clay.
Clay.
Spell your last name, Clay. That's it. Clay!
Hey!
Go Cougs, Clay!
So, Clay, you have not won yet.
You have not won
get
yet.
all the answers right.
But Clay, the good news is you don't have to do anything but sit there and enjoy your beer, and it's all on him. And we're going to put the big training wheels on for Brad tonight, so I can almost guarantee you that I'm going to buy you a beer later.
Right. Woo! There's only one man who has never won on this show, and that's Dave Musser from Bellwether. And he's not here tonight.
Bum, bum, ba-dum.
Here is your first question. Although it is well known that George Washington loved his beer, Washington had another favorite beverage he would often drink. It was even used to toast the signing of the Declaration of Independence. What was this beverage? Was it A, Madeira? Madeira is a fortified wine from Portugal that traveled well and many of the early colonists preferred. Or is it B, hard cider? Cider was extremely plentiful and easy to make. That is until George started cutting down all the apple trees. He eventually admitted to cutting down a single cherry tree, but never confessed about the apple trees. Maybe that's where One Tree Cider gets its name. Or is it C, hard seltzer? George loved hard seltzers. He loved them for a number of reasons. Their low-calorie account, their gender equity, the subtle fruity taste. George's good friend Carl Kloss made his favorite hard seltzer. Once when drinking a Kloss seltzer early in the morning, George's wife Martha asked him if it was appropriate, to which George replied, "There ain't no laws when you're drinking Kloss." And the rest is history. So, is the answer A, Madeira, B, hard cider, or C, hard seltzer?
Does anybody else wonder where this guy comes up with some of the stuff? Do I get a look down the panel?
No, seriously,
The panel's there to help you.
Yeah. I would think about it was used to sign the Declaration of Independence, so it was probably had some color to it, would be my guess. Because you wouldn't see it if it was,
Oh, you mean it was actually used to sign?
No, it wasn't the ink.
It wasn't the ink.
It wasn't the ink?
They toasted it.
George,
Well, that doesn't make any sense that it was used to sign it.
It was used to toast the signing.
Tim, toast is not just bread.
This is why you're a nonprofit.
Listen, don't criticize me. I didn't write this crap.
Say A.
Yay!
You are correct. Yes, it is A. Madeira was one of the most easily obtainable wines of the times and preferred by many of our founding fathers, including good old George. It is said that he enjoyed 3 to 5 glasses of the high ABV wine every night. Its popularity would eventually decrease with the establishment of the numerous breweries, distilleries, and in vineyards in years to come.
And his favorite beer was actually Manny's.
Yes.
Because it's brewed by Georgetown.
Oh!
He
And after
always revives himself.
after
Good
5
old
Madeiras, he would be like, "Welcome to Georgetown."
That's right. All right, Brad, here is question 2. What was Washington's favorite style of beer? Was it A, India Pale Ales? Yep, George was a hophead. He loved his IBUs. He even had a yellow lad named Lupulin.
Here, Lupulin, come here.
Come here. Is it B, barrel-aged stouts? George loved his ABV, as is proof by his enjoyment of Madeira, and he also loved wood, as is proof by his cutting down of all those trees and his wooden teeth. So why wouldn't he love a beer aged in barrels made of wood? Or C, porters. George favored the porters of the day, especially the porters brewed in Philadelphia. He would go out of his way to make sure he had ample rations of it on stock at Mount Vernon. So is your answer A, the India Pale Ale, B, barrel-aged stouts, or C, porters?
Just a fun fact, totally non sequitur, but I named my Yorkshire Terrier Porter. I just thought I should tell you.
Whoa. Not Lupulin.
No, I would never name a dog Lupulin, Chris. Right. It's funny that you should bring that up. That's not even funny. That's serious.
And stouts were Irish, and George Washington loved everyone.
Isn't your dog named...
Except for the Irish.
So there's your help. You're going with C. It is C, porters. Woo! Question number 3. Many know that George Washington was our first home brewing president, but who was the first president to brew in the White House? Was it A, Jimmy Carter? In 1978, President Jimmy Carter signed into law a bill allowing home brewing. So he kind of sparked this whole craft beer thing we got going on. Or is it B, Barack Obama? In 2011, President Barack Obama bought himself a homebrew kit and had his staff brew up a beer that included a pound of honey collected from beehives on the South Lawn. Or is it C, Donald Trump? Trump tweeted, "I spent a lot of money to have incredible men and women brew this amazing beer. Believe me, it's going to be huge. Everybody's talking about it." When asked what kind of beer it is, Trump responded, "It's a Russian Café Stout." Is the answer A, Jimmy Carter, B, Barack Obama, or C, Donald Trump?
If I can weigh in real fast. If it is B, which it's probably not, but I think it's funny that it says that President Barack Obama bought himself a homebrew kit and had his staff brew up a beer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
George,
like if
George
that's,
Washington didn't brew his
I
beer.
completely misunderstood homebrewing, if that's the case, and I am way underwater right now. So, like, I was just supposed to hire someone to...
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, I think George, I don't think he brewed it.
Tim, make the beer. I'm going home.
My only hint is no collusion. No collusion.
Okay.
No prid quo quo.
No quid pro quo.
Going with 2. B.
B is the correct answer. It's Barack Obama.
Yeah!
Well, if only the White House had been built in time for George to live in it and brew in it. Crazy it took 43 more presidents to eventually make that happen. Don't fear, you can find both Obama's White House Honey Ale and George Washington's small beer recipes online for your own in-house brewing.
I like to imagine Donald Trump reviewing his own beer on Untapped, though.
Yeah?
It's the
There's
best.
not enough stars.
It's the best beer. Amazing. Delicious. No beer has ever been as good as this beer.
You know, I did find that even though Donald Trump does not brew beer for the White House, he actually keeps a special homebrew on hand at Mar-a-Lago. It's a barrel-aged stout, and it's aged in old Jack Daniels barrels. They only drink it during tropical storms and hurricanes, and it's called the Stormy Daniels Barrel-Aged Stout.
Yes!
Dave, how did Brad do on our quiz?
Well, he got 3 out of 3, and that's a win for Clay.
Well, Brad McQuarrie, thank you so much for joining us on Wheat, Don't Tell Me. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. Everybody, make sure to head up to Mount Spokane Ski and Snowboard Park this winter and taste some of that fresh Inland Northwest powder and beer. That wraps up this part of the show. We'll now take a break and be back in just a moment with another contestant in a game we call Beer Limericks.
Welcome back to the Brewhouse Stage at Mountain Lakes Brewing Company in downtown Spokane, Washington. This is Wheat, Don't Tell Me, the MLB Beer Quiz Show with your host, Chris Cindric.
Thank you, Dave. And now a game where you have to listen for the rhyme. It's called Beer Limericks. Remember, if you would like to be a future contestant on Wheat, Don't Tell Me, just stop by Mountain Lakes Brewing prior to each show, and we will make you drink a ski booty beer after your epic yard sale. Hello and welcome. Tell us your name and a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Chris. I'm Jason Clark, and I'm a raft guide.
Raft guide, and so the local Spokane River, where...
So I rafted this last year on the Salmon River in Idaho, on the main and lower part.
Nice, nice. Welcome to the show. Here's what we're going to do at this point in the show. Dave is going to read 3 beer-related limericks with the last word or phrase missing from each. If you can fill in the last word or phrase correctly for 2 of the 3 limericks, you will be a winner. Free beer, a pint glass, and again, tonight, a lift ticket to Mount Spokane.
Sounds good.
Are you ready to play?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Jason, tonight your limericks deal with beers and mountains. Beers and mountains. Here is your first limerick.
Seattle was the home of this beer. Since 1878, its status is clear. They drank it in twilight and on the neon bar light. The red R logo stands for...
Rainier.
Rainier.
I've always called it Ronier, but...
Right. It does. Ronier does not rhyme with beer.
No, it does not.
He's an upper crust drinker.
Yes.
I always called it rainier. Like as in, it's sunny there, but it's rainier here.
Rainier. The iconic Washington beer that is no longer Washington-owned, but will always remain deep in our hearts, often finding its way into our hands in the form of a 16-ounce can after an epic day on the slopes. This great American beer festival gold medal beer is worthy of a place in your beer fridge. Did you guys know that? They won a GABF gold medal award.
Well, it's better than a blue ribbon.
Oh. And on that, here is your second limerick.
There once was a skier from Red Ranch who skied steep lines that most said gave no chance. He died there, they say, in an ironic way, drinking a Breckenridge amber called...
This is
Avalanche.
An avalanche! Breckenridge Brewery Avalanche Amber Ale was the first brewed in 1988. It was a good beer. So good the state decided to name their NHL hockey team after it in 1995. Well, that's not true at all. But could you blame them if they did? Are you, you know, I always think...
Actually, Chris, they were almost called the Silver Bullets after Coors Light.
That's
I don't know
right,
if you knew
they
that.
were. Yeah, Molson Coors was pushing for that big time. And then they were going to be the Blue Mooners. Jason, here is your third limerick.
Some people, they drink it all night. Some people just can't stand the sight. Whichever are you, when the mountains turn blue, we all know we are drinking.
Coors Light.
Coors Light. Thank goodness.